Heyo everybody, Haku here with this week's live reaction to read through for Tower of God. We got chapter 630 or season 3 episode 213. I'm very excited to get into it this week, see what we get, as I always am. Of course, we're kind of just, I don't really have a long intro this time. We're kind of in the middle of the fight between the family heads, and I don't feel like it's ending anytime soon. Again, like I've been doing, I'm just gonna roll with it, enjoy it, have the most fun with it that I can week to week. But I don't see this ending anytime soon. At the pace that it's going, the pace that this arc is going, I think we're gonna continue the fight. We're gonna cut away to some stuff. We're gonna continue the fight. We're gonna cut away to some stuff because we still have all these other conflicts, these smaller conflicts going on, and I just don't see the family head fight ending before the smaller conflicts. So I feel like you all know more than me. You're like a dozen chapters ahead, basically. And I would think it's probably not even over for all of you. I think this is like 15, 20 more chapters at least. Or maybe like 16-ish, maybe. I don't know. I just don't see at the current pace that we're going this ending anytime soon. Not only the current pace, but also just the amount of things that CU has on the table for this arc. I just don't see what's going on ending anytime soon. So I'll be excited to see what happens in this week's installment of Gaston versus Traumerei. But I think that's about it. The only other thing that I'll say is okay, I just remembered something else, but I wanted to say if any of you are waiting for reactions to the anime, A, do you know if they're just going into Core 2, if they're just going into Workshop Battle, or if they're taking a break? And B, I haven't done videos in like 2 weeks, so as of today, I think I'm 3 episodes behind. I'll do those whenever I have time, but I have a lot of things that I'm really, really, really excited for this week that I really want to work on this week. And I'll just say that the Tower of God anime isn't a priority compared to some other things, so it'll happen when it happens, I guess. So yeah, I guess that's about it. And with all of that aside, well, let's just start reading. Oh yeah, the other thing that, I probably don't even have to say here, when I was setting up to record this, I remembered, oh yeah, I made the One Piece video for patrons and members. I did that on, what, Friday, maybe? But I forgot to post it publicly for everybody today, so sorry about that. I'm going to do that really quick after I record and edit this, and I'll do that really quick before I post this. So, yeah, I forgot about One Piece. I literally just remembered it when I was setting up stuff to record this. Whoops. Either way, let's start reading. We get a violence warning this time around. This episode contains depictions of violence that may be upsetting for some readers. And now, oh yeah, we see what Gaston, of course, Gaston's head got cut off. He did just write something down, and also he's a family head, which I view them as like essentially godlike status. So I assume whatever he did, he's fine. Like seemingly fatal wounds, again, we've seen Doom shot through the head, I think. We've seen both Calavan and Kelhelm have chunks of their torso blown out. And those are all strong characters, but as strong as they are, this is Gaston. And then that is actually like a really determined panel. Like Traumerei is like actually okay. I think I may have killed him. Like that is serious intent to kill. Traumerei, and it goes into static. Traumerei, come on, Traumerei, let's go. Are we gonna get a flashback to their relationship? Wake up, Traumerei. You won't bring them back to life by lying there. Oh, and we see, I guess some of his creatures were killed. There's like a spiky alligator thing, a horse. I don't even know what that would be classified as toward the bottom right. Or the bottom left, with the mutant fish thing as well above it. Gaston, why would they do something so cruel? See more of the bodies. What did these poor creatures do to deserve such a terrible fate? These animals were our helpers and companions. What right did they have to do this to them? Traumerei, I'd like to round up everyone who did this and incinerate them all. And they actually look in their like sort of end of the climb, like a bit older sort of state. Hand, I'd make sure to wipe out every last spark so there's not even a trace of them. I wish I could slash right through them. With rupture. Or disconnection, again. I'm probably just going to keep saying rupture, but you know what it means. But you can't do that, Traumerei. This tower's a vast, enormous place. So was this a part of what happened with the tower natives? No matter how hard we try to eradicate people like them, more will always spring up again. If we destroy people every time they do something we dislike, we'll end up being so lonely and isolated. That's okay. I'm fine, as long as we have each other. I won't be lonely. And we see how over the past thousands of years, it went from what we saw in the Enkidu flashback where Traumerei doesn't care about creatures as much per se, but there's a difference to him between creatures and us, which is the people who climbed the tower together. There's a disconnect there between them and us. And we see that over 1,000 years now, how much the family heads have grown apart to the point where it's like now he doesn't even have Gastang. Now he doesn't even have the rest of his team anymore. I won't be lonely. So screw everyone else. And we do know that he said he was lonely by the time of the Enkidu flashback. So he was already lonely back then. Let's just go ahead and burn them all. We're going to cut ourselves off from everyone else in the tower. And it looks like the golden orb he has, bringing the bodies of all of them in. We'll be so powerful that we won't need anyone. We have to get stronger. And I like this, developing how Traumerei became the monster that he is. We can't stop. Don't hesitate. And now we see him in his chair from before, being talked to by Zahard. Traumerei. Zahard puts his hand on his. Do you remember the day we first pulled the lever? Remember the helplessness we felt? The self-loathing? The guilt? We've lowered countless levers since then. Each time we do so, we can't let ourselves be swayed by our emotions. I wonder if he's meaning this in like a literal or figurative sense. Is there some sort of lever that they pulled? Or is it, and I mean the lever itself, even if it is a physical thing here, it might be analogous to like the trolley problem kind of thing. Is like, it just, not really a metaphor, but symbolic of them making these decisions. Because that's what evil people do. They prey on the guilt of good people. Alright, sorry, I was just going back over it. Remember, Traumerei, from now on, we're the embodiment of absolute good. Man, again, I like getting deeper into the psychology of this, and it seems like we're barely into the chapter. We're just now getting the title splash. The battle between the family leaders, Traumerei versus Gastang, Part 4. And we get another shot of what happened to Gastang. And really, this actually is a sick panel. Him still standing there holding the paper and the pen, and the way that the blood is going off it, especially if you kind of remove the text, that's like a really good looking panel. I'm not lonely. You can go ahead and die for all I care. It doesn't matter to me. I'm still waiting for us to get the current short-haired Traumerei without the mask. Gastang. We have another shot of it here. I love this with the dead and destroyed creatures framing the panel and the two of them in the middle. We still have blood coming out of his head, and it writes beneath Traumerei's feet. And I wonder if this does look like, again, I don't know, like Sanskrit, Hindi, I'm not sure what the writing, is called, but the same that was on the gravestones. Is that what this is? It kind of looks like that to me. If it is any sort of actual real writing system. Is that writing I see? Written with the noble blood of sacrifice, This message is an unbreakable oath granted by the administrator. They say blood of sacrifice. Is Gustang actually dead? Did Gustang actually sacrifice himself to make an administrator Like, that would be insane. We all think, oh, it's Gustang, he's gonna survive. What would actually be insane is if Gustang actually did sacrifice himself to make a contract with the administrator to do something crazy. This blood oath began long ago in the form of a covenant. By summoning the Master Scale of Judgment, this oath examines the absolute truth of past events. So the Scale of Judgment... Okay, so who then is the Master? Is that some god of the tower type thing? And the Scale of Judgment is, what was it, the hidden floor, right? And if it examines past events, that would make sense too. So again, is this deeper into tower lore beyond the family heads? The scale reveals all. If a person's found to be guilty of murder and yet denies their sin and refuses to repent, Popedal Gastang will be revived in the form of an all-powerful executioner full of noble blood. He will also be allowed to use the Jade Dagger. Jade Dagger. And then the blood is flowing back in. So again, it's because Traumerei is much like what happened with Amizu. He's denying his wrongdoing. He's coping. And somebody mentioned it. I don't remember if it was Dr. Bonehead or Ron Can, maybe even Pyro Prima. The weird bottoms of shoes that Traumerei's got going on. The other chapter. So he's getting reborn through, again, it's at an administrator. And the scale, which, again, who is the master? What is the scale? This is like godlike forces beyond the family heads, and it's weighing Traumerei's actions. And with it weighing Traumerei's actions, it seems like it is deciding to revive Gastang in possibly an even more powerful form. And what does that mean, though? If Gastang is revived in this all-powerful executioner's form, does that mean that because he died here, and this is seemingly, Gastang did die here. I mean, it was a big brain play. It was a big brain play, really. Gastang was like, I'm going to let Traumerei kill me, and if he will, accept himself, move forward, whatever, if his hands are clean, it's a bit like vague, then like if his conscience is clear and he's accepting of what he's done, all of that kind of stuff, then Gastang would just stay dead. But because Traumerei's not, Gastang gets brought back to life here, but I don't know if that's permanent or not. It could just be a play where Gastang is like sacrificing himself to take Traumerei out with him and spread the truth of the tower through this. Like, after he becomes the executioner when he's revived, if he takes out Traumerei, then does he just revert back to being dead? Which is crazy. It's crazy here that this means Gastang did actually die. That is absolutely insane. It's just that he's going to get revived because he had a plan. And I want to compare this to the scale from Floor of Death. So give me a second. I'm going to pull that up, but I'll make it a jump cut so you don't have to sit through it. And of course I meant the, the hidden floor, not the Floor of Death. So yeah, this is the scale from the Floor of Death. That was the scale of the past. And it does look different from this current scale, but I don't know if that's just a change in artwork and it's meant to be similar or the same kind of thing or not. So there is that. That was the scale of the past that weighs people's pasts. But either way, let's continue. So we have the scale summoned. The blood's congealing beneath it. And is this the master, the judge, or is this Gastang as an executioner? Because he has the book and pen. And the quality of, like, his flesh, like the texture on it, reminds me of the Grand Leech Monk. I'm just looking at the details here on the book. It's been a long time, Traumerei. Are you the one who murdered Gaston? Okay, so Gaston is dead, and this isn't Gaston as the executioner. This is the master. The scale of judgment. I didn't know Gaston still had it. An incident that proves your guilt occurred just a moment ago. And we have the writing in the book. Since you transcend the law, no one in the tower may view the records of your sins. However, and again, is this some greater than family head godlike force then that has the records of everyone's sins there? No one may view no one in the tower may view the records of your sins. However, Pobedal Gaston received direct permission at the cost of his own life and on the basis of evidence. Accordingly, we will now examine the record of your sins, Traumerei. So again, this is Traumerei making sure he's dying. This is insane. Or this is Gaston making sure. This is crazy because Gaston, of course, I mentioned it when we first got the twist that Enkidu was being controlled. I was like, yeah, Gaston didn't really act on it, immediately accuse Traumerei or anything, because especially back then, they were friends. If he says, oh, your friend murdered your other friend, Gaston would have kind of a lot of reason not to just listen to Enkidu, but at the same time, he didn't kill Enkidu. He had Enkidu sealed away because he's like, you know, I think Gaston didn't want to believe that Traumerei killed Amazu, but I think that at the same time, he was like, I can't really rule it out. So here, he let Traumerei kill him. He straight up sacrificed himself for the chance, for the opportunity to view Traumerei's sins and see, you know, how, you know, guilty are you? He's going to find out the truth for sure. And also, I just freaking love lately how long the sleeves on Traumerei's coat are. It's insane. And are we going to get... like, it would be insane if we got a bunch of flashbacks to a bunch of things he's done. But who knows? And we have machines. So is this the Machine Nation then? I guess this is us going into a flashback. And are the machines the one who killed his creatures? This is nuts. So we're actually seeing the Machine Nation here. And this is a more modern Traumerei with the short hair. And it makes me wonder, because again, if the machines and the plants were here, the Machine Nation and the Flower Kingdoms, if they were here before the humans came, then are the ones who built the tower, are they the machines? Because we know that, like, the floors of the tower are literal floors. There are lights in the ceiling and, like, gateways to travel between floors. So it's like, they are, like, actual physical floors. So are the ones who built that the machines? Or whoever built it maybe also built the machines. I remember this place. Okay, maybe this is modern Traumerei because he's, like, looking... like, this is being projected out before him and he's looking down at his past. This is the stage where where I first encountered the giant mechanoids. We have one of them screaming. All these explosions while climbing the tower. Jeez. And now we have young Zahard and Edwan here. Watch out. It'd be so cool if we saw more family heads. This is so irritating. They just keep chasing after us. And is that Yidam? Because of the pink, like, flower petal and, like, grass, like, leaf-looking flames? Because that's similar to what Yiwas look like at times. Where the hell are those things coming from? They get torn apart. How are we supposed to kill them if none of our attacks work against them? And this is cool. So we have young Traumerei and Gaston, and they look around the age that they did from that one flashback about the labyrinth. There must be a way. Games always have rules. What are we missing? Are we using the wrong attributes? Did they have some sort of hidden weakness? Isn't there anything in those books you're always reading? Now's not the right time to tease me about being a bookworm. This is so cool seeing them at this age. This is, I feel like everybody keeps saying like they miss tests, and well, not everybody. Some people just like what's going on currently, but people keep saying they miss tests, and people, like, more than anything, keep saying they want to see like a side story of just the family heads climbing. I think this is the core of what Tower of God is and what people really want, and modern Tower of God has strayed so far away from that, and that's why people want the family head flashback even more than they would already want it, is because going up against these like impossible odds, trying to figure out a way to get through these tests and these trials and tribulations, Head-On said it himself, what the tower is about are these trials. And then, now's not the right time to tease me about being a bookworm. And then he yells as we have this crash of blue Shinsu. It looks like Kraken's maybe saving them. Where are we? I think we fell off the fortress wall. Let's get out of here. But the mechanoids will surround us as soon as we leave. Why don't we look for some other way out? Do you think there's another way? It's probably safer to just hurry out of here. It won't make a difference anyway if we get back out of there right away. Or if we get back out there right away. Let's look for another way out, while checking for any clues here about what we're supposed to do. Every game has a trick to beat it. And I also like the way with them, they are kind of somewhat, I really like, I like Traumerei shoes. They're treating it kind of like, you know, one of the gamey isekais. We see this crazy altar of some kind, or maybe something that has to do with the machines. And again, loving the different riding styles. I just said the style we saw earlier might have been Hindu or Sanskrit, I'm not really sure. We've seen Japanese before. All of the 13-month series have Japanese written on them, and now we see I don't know that much about runic. It's like Futhark. I don't know which kind of Futhark written around this. So again, Tower of God using all these different like systems of writing. What is that? It looks like some kind of well. The energy pouring out of it's incredibly powerful. Again, you know what's crazy? Somebody who can read runic, somebody who knows what the sounds of all these are to sound them out, might be able to read this. But I'm not quite sure. It might just be kind of meaningless. Because that H-looking one, oh god, I don't remember what that is. I'm pretty sure that's just S. That's just an S. I think that's actually F. So what would have S and F right beside each other? And that's a B, I think. So Sufaba, what would have that in it? So I think it might be meaningless. But then again, I don't actually really know how to read these. So I could just totally be wrong. And then, that must be a power reactor in the center. Power reactor? Yeah, that's probably what supplies the mechanoids with their energy. If those mechanoids outside lose their power supply, they'll collapse on the spot. I think we just found a way to beat this game. Let's go check it out. Gustang, and he jumps right in. Where are you going? We should tell the others first. They're all running for their lives as we speak. By the time we tell them, it'll be too late. We can deal with it, or deal with this ourselves. Gustang, the Shinsu is even denser now that we're up close. I have a bad feeling about this. We should get V or Zahard. We can't rely on them for every little problem in life. Come on, let's see what we can do. Hey, what do you two think you're doing? And they turn back. Yirang. And we see young Yirang looks older than them. I didn't see you after that last attack, so I came looking for you just in case. Why didn't you tell anyone where you were? You're both completely fine, I see. Her design looks kind of weirdly proportioned here. Like she looks kind of smushed vertically, if you know, like it looks like it was opened in Photoshop and then like slightly pulled down to like 85% on the y-axis. Haven't you ever heard of calling? Again, that's something in Tower of God. You should, theoretically, I guess, we don't know the details, but it seems like you should be able to call somebody on a pocket from like anywhere, which makes you question why doesn't Bomb actually communicate and talk with his teammates more often. My cope about it has been maybe it's sort of like internet where you're only really in range of using these pockets if you're around, you know, a pocket, well, what's the word, radio tower, cell tower, whatever. So unless you're at like a station or a place where people are living, or maybe if one of your ships has one, then maybe you can't use it. And maybe in order to like communicate long range, like over multiple floors, it's more difficult. And like that's kind of been my cope, is that maybe it's not just as simple as pockets work literally everywhere and connect to any other pocket from literally anywhere, because maybe that would be too OP and you could just communicate over like multiple floors of space. So that's been my cope about it. But yeah, that's always a big question, is why don't characters in Tower of God just call each other more? There's no time to argue, Yirang. The giant mechanoid's energy source is right over there. What? Really? And you didn't think to let the rest of us know about something so important? Why didn't you use your pockets? Again, she's bringing it up. Wait, Yirang, watch out behind you. Sorry, her stance here is really funny. It's the mechanoids. There's a whole army of them. We don't have a choice. We'll just have to head in there by ourselves. What? Nonsense. Call V. There's no time. And also, what the mechanoids are kind of making me think is, of course, people always talk about the purple dementor. I always talk about the purple dementor. But then what are characters like the H characters? Like, what was it? H51, there was another one that I don't remember. Like, there were at least two of them that were like robot people. And so it's like, are they mechanoids that have survived down the generations down the line until now, or are they new ones that have been built? And you would kind of almost think that robots being built would be something that the family heads wouldn't like, the Zahard Empire wouldn't like, because they're like, you know, we fought these guys climbing the tower, screw these guys, don't make more robots. You'd almost think that would be some sort of taboo. Also, they're not like totally like copy pasted from one another. It seems like almost all of them have different like eye setups. So there's that too. They're not just all the same. Also, we don't know for some characters, like I just thought about Bu-Wen too. Was Bu-Wen a robot, or was Bu-Wen just somebody wearing armor? And of course, if that's their power supply, I would think, like, attack it with some of your attacks. Don't jump into it. Like, jumping in doesn't sound good, unless they've dealt with this before. Let's go. And Gaston, once again, this is just his personality trait, I guess, just jumping in. Stop right there. Hey, you troublemakers. Come on, hurry. And people have been saying for a long time that it felt like Traumerei was kind of one of the kids of the group, and I wonder if this is sort of like Gaston and Traumerei are kind of young compared to some of the others. And then we had Yirang, who was like, Amazu said she was like, oh, her little friend and everything, but it feels like she seems more mature and old than these two here. Damn it. Whatever. And then, okay, so she jumps in too. We see somebody's feet. Look at this place. It's bigger than I expected. Also, I can't stop remembering Gaston's dead. Gaston died. That is crazy. Of course, it seems like he's going to get brought back to life here and even get a power up out of it. But that is wild that a family had died. Let's follow that light and see where it leads. Okay. Hey, hold on. And there's still Gaston just rushing off on his own and Traumerei following behind. You can't just go running off without a plan. I swear, you're both in so much trouble when we get out of here. What the? And there's some sort of structure in the middle. What's that? Another batch, huh? More challengers from the tower. And is this something related to the God of Guardians? More lost causes doomed to fail. More beta testers. And again, using words like beta testers. It's like, so it's like, who created... So did somebody create the tower, and they're also the ones who created the mechanoids and the machine kingdom, everything like that. And they're bringing people into the tower, and it is almost like this game-ish isekai. Are the characters basically trapped in a game, so to speak? And if so, is it Head-On? Is Head-On the host of it all, the creator of it all? Or something created by the creator of it all? And if so, if they're the beta testers, were the family heads really just the test run for Bomb to come later on? Or like the Child of Prophecy, who may or may not be Bomb? Who are you? And what the heck is that big rice cooker thing? Don't worry, I'm not your enemy. In fact, I'm here to help you. I want to help you achieve, or they could say revolution, your own personal revolution. I wonder, is this God of Guardians, or is it somebody related to them? And God of Guardians said they were created by the workshop, right? Or maybe just the train was created by the workshop. So again, maybe the workshop was already like super established. Like we know it existed when the 10 family heads, the great warriors, whatever got here. But maybe it didn't just exist, but it was already like firmly established throughout the tower. Revolution, what are you on about? Is that the name of some kind of new creature? No, you fools. Revolution means... I didn't mean to confuse you. In simpler terms, I'm here to help you with your personal growth. Leveling up, in other words. And again, with them it's being treated more like a game. You can call this machine and me a rice maker or a cat or whatever you like. If you really want to help us, tell us how to stop those giant mechanoids. That's simple. You've already found the answer. All you need to do is break the pipes connected to this machine and cut off its source of energy. Then what are we waiting for? Let's go and... Hold on. They stopped. The machine's still running. There's no telling how it might affect you. Would you mind waiting a minute? Someone else is already in there. What? Who the heck? Hey, when did you all get here? And we're seeing full face reveal. I got goosebumps. We're seeing full V. So V then, if he completed it, completed Revolution first out of them. Hey, when did you all get here? V, how long have you been here? And why are you in your underwear? Let me think. I guess it's been about 10 minutes. What? 10 minutes? Why didn't you message us with your pocket? We almost died out there. Oh, really? 10 great family leaders, forgotten companion. Sorry about that. Commonly known as V. So we're still getting the commonly known as V. We're not getting his actual name yet. And we get Cliffhung there without his actual name. This is cool, especially if we continue with this, and then I'm sure that this will actually wrap back into the Amazu stuff, because we're just going through the sins of Traumerei. And if this is the first thing that Traumerei is being forced to relive, then what is the sin he commits here? Is the sin he commits here going through Revolution? Is going through Revolution a bad thing? There's so much deeper lore stuff here that's very, very cool. I thought it was good. Again, it's one of those things where you just gotta wait and see where it's going, you know? We just gotta wait, see where this ends up taking us. It was fun, though. I think getting into these flashbacks, if we're getting into another section of flashbacks, that's going to be really good. Again, when we come out of these flashbacks, we still just have a lot of stuff going on. I feel like maybe this arc just wasn't organized the best, because it makes me feel like I can't fully think we're going to wrap up the Gastang and Traumerei stuff until some of the smaller stuff is out of the way. We really cliffhung the bomb stuff a while ago, let alone introducing Revolution and the Daejang coming in months ago and then just dropping them. We have stuff going on with Chan the Floriat guy I keep bringing up, stuff going on with Yama's group, Rachel's group, all of this different stuff that, you know, maybe wrapping some of the smaller stuff up first before getting into this maybe would have worked a little bit better, because we're doing all this, then we've got the main event fight, we still have more characters that we know are going to be coming in, there's a lot of things on the table, and makes me wonder, like, it feels like we've got a long ride ahead of us still. But I am excited to see what comes of this. So either way, I'll end things here. Thank you so much for watching. Like if you did like the video, comment down there to tell me what you thought of this week's chapter, my thoughts and reaction to it. Subscribe for more Tower of God, much more on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want. If you want a link to the Discord server, it is free and open for anyone. If you want to help support the channel by dropping a super thanks, that's appreciated. But if you want to help support the channel, also get your name at the end of every video, also get One Piece videos a little bit early, maybe even more early if I forget to make them public again, which I am sure I will do eventually. Then you can join down below to become a member, or go to patreon.com/Haku of the Tubes, or a link will be in the description to become a patron. Thank you so much to those of you who are already patrons and channel members. Thank you to Chosen Regular Evan Holly, Magical Girls, FRNono, Abyss Knight, JA, and the D-Band, Jared Students, David Langstaff and Folded Goal, Slayer Candidates, SG and Stan Cedar, and Pure Element Pateo Diallo. Thank you so much for all of your support. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.